Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Diabesties channel.
I'm Jazz Sadie and
No, it's not that. It's Jazz over here.
Jazz over here. Welcome to Diabesties.
Okay, these guys did like the best intro possible, but
One second, is this on the right mode?
it is.
Yeah.
Alright. Today we are here with two very, very important people of my life. We have my brother, who is Rag Sethi. You've seen him in the Goa vlog, and a lot of you commented about how much you enjoyed the banter with.
That's a lie. Do people comment?
Yes, a lot of people commented. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Nancy, who's my best friend. And
Also the trustee.
that too.
Which, by the way, the brother is not. Important fact of trivia of Diabesties.
Right, okay. What we are here today actually is to discuss something a little important and a little serious. I got a hypoglycemia, you guys, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, about the experience and about the incident that occurred on Saturday evening. And what had happened was that I was driving and I got a low, and it was basically 60. And I took 2 glucose tablets. My Dexcom alerted me at 60, and the first thing I was doing was taking 2 glucose tablets, and I was in the car with Nancy. So we're going to try to play out the events as it went on. But so let's start, right? We were in the car singing, all of it was great. Dexcom alerts, sugar is 60. The first thing I do, I was like, okay, take 2 glucose tablets. Did that, pop them in, and I was fine. Then we entered my house. I parked the car in the basement, and suddenly I felt something, and it just felt like my entire life was sort of coming out of my body. It was so weird. But I looked at Nancy, who was in the passenger seat. I looked at her, I did this, and then, you guys, I passed out. Now, this is the first time I've ever passed out because of a hypoglycemia, and my sugars must have been in the range from 20 to 30 because the Dexcom could not read the actual value. It just said urgent low. From then on, what happened is something I do not clearly remember. So the 2 people who were a part of this experience will take the story forward. And this is for everyone over here who's ever gone through hypoglycemia. And at the end, I'm going to just sort of go through a few tips and tricks about what we can do to avoid these kind of situations. Because this is the first time it's happened to me. And we're going to just share what happened. So the moment I passed out, Nancy was the one there. So we're going to take the story forward. Nancy.
This was the worst day of my life because I did not know what was happening and why it was happening. But as soon as she parked the car, she fell on my lap and she was completely out, and I thought she was kidding first because I was there. She was testing me because stuff like if she had a hypo, how I should react. So that was the thing. But she was out, and then I called for help, and I was panicking a lot. I did not have a plan B or A. I only knew that I was supposed to call Rag, but I was so scared. What if he was not home?
So, a little bag of information. Rag and me live in the same building.
Yeah.
Right? So, the moment I passed out in the basement, the first thing that you did was what?
I switched off the car.
She switched off the car. Great.
I switched off the music. I unbuckled her because she still had a seatbelt on. And then I started honking and I was calling for help. And then the Mali and the guard and the maids came, and then we had to lift Jazz upstairs because she was completely dead weight. She couldn't move. She had no idea what was happening. I had no idea what was happening. All I knew that I had to feed her some sugar so that she could get back. But we got her home, and then I called Rag, and then he came.
Yeah, I was taking a nap at the time, so she woke me up in the middle of my nap. But she woke me up for a good reason. She called me up. She was like, "Rag, you have to come down immediately." And I knew intuitively that it had to do something with Jazz. So got out, put my jeans on, ran down. Too much information. So
okay.
I ran down and the moment I reached her floor, so I live on the 7th floor, she lives on the 1st floor. So I came on the 1st floor and I could see like this horde of people trying to move Jazz inside the house, and she was barely responsive. Like she was mumbling something, I remember, and she was at the entrance of the door when I reached. So we all went in. We put her on the couch, and in my mind, all the episodes of House started playing.
Oh.
I was trying to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do? How do we she's completely non-responsive. She's unconscious. What are we supposed to do? What is the plan of action? What is step one? I had no idea. So I went through my house, going through all that, and I remember one episode where like there was actually it's an episode about insulin, I think.
Oh wow!
Type 1 diabetic.
Insert house over here. Okay.
Showtime. A 5, 6, 7, 8.
So Jazz uses the Omnipod. So I knew the very first thing that I needed to do, since Nancy told me that it wasn't low.
I did not know that. Thank God he was there for that.
So the very first thing I realized is that okay, we need to stop insulin delivery because it was urgent low. It was going even further. It'll go down further if insulin keeps on getting pumped into our blood. So Nancy gives me the Omnipod, and the Omnipod has one thing right at the bottom called suspend insulin. So I went straight to that suspend insulin, beeped it into the thing. Okay, fine. So, the insulin can't go. Sorry, the sugar shouldn't go lower than this now, or hopefully it shouldn't go lower than this. Our next objective was to try to figure out how to get her sugar up. And the problem was she was unconscious. And when I mean unconscious, I was blacked out. She was completely unresponsive. She was her teeth were clenched. So so we both started really freaking out at that point. And I told Nancy we needed to call my dad as well to make sure that he's aware that this is happening. We have to go through it. We got all the bottles of juice we could from the fridge. And one by one, just trying to and we had to literally pry her mouth open because her teeth were completely clenched. We had to pry her mouth open and start chugging orange juice into her mouth. Problem was she was unconscious and she couldn't swallow. So I was trying to figure out, okay, how do we get her to at least swallow? So initially I started massaging it and I was realizing I would make such a bad doctor just for that. So I started doing this and thinking this will work. And clearly nothing's working, it's all dripping back out. So we put in more and then I realized, okay, I should probably just get her to open her eyes. So I just started slapping her. So I just went, Jazz.
That was the happiest moment of his life.
All the years of trauma of childhood were being released at this one moment. So I kept on slapping her on her cheek and then she would just light up and then she would look at me and then she would look at Nancy and she would smile, swallow and then go back out.
Yeah, about the smiling.
Yeah, she used to just smile randomly whenever she used to come back.
So a point over there again, so this is, I've read about this and my doctor also told me about this, that sometimes when patients are in this kind of a low, when they're unconscious, right, there's no sugar going to the brain. So the brain is not functioning correct. So sometimes patients either get extremely violent and they scratch and become aggressive or they get hysterical. Yeah. So I think I went to the hysterical
side.
Went to the hysterical
side. The slapping and at the same time I was trying to think of what else doctors do, so I checked her pulse also. So
and we were not talking about it.
Yeah,
we were just doing all the things that we are supposed to.
I mean, was she alive? Was legit a question that I think we both asked ourselves because
we didn't speak about it. We were doing all that.
To be able to look at your own sister who's unconscious or your best friend and to actually try to question, is she alive? That was a scary moment for sure. And then we realized, okay, this particular delivery of sugar is clearly not effective. It's not working. We need something else. So we realized that there was glucagon.
Yeah.
But here's the. Can we swear?
No. We can beep it out. Yeah, sure.
Here's the. So I went. First of all, I asked Nancy to go. Nancy obviously doesn't know what it looks like.
Nancy was panicking.
She was shivering. I could see her shivering. And I was just no, it's okay. I'll go grab it. You keep.
Yeah, I ran to the fridge. I tried looking for it. Couldn't find it.
I went to the thing. I got the glucagon, but it was the
vial.
The vial with the sterilized water. The sterilized water and the powder. There was no syringe over there, and I didn't know where her syringes were, so I had no idea how to do this. So I looked at this and I was like, "This is completely pointless. I'm not going to waste time trying to figure this out." I was thinking maybe YouTubing how to make this work. Maybe the most easier way, maybe you could just drop it down. I don't know. So it seemed so. We were just panicking so much, and for me, the thing was least time, most effective.
Yeah.
What was that strategy? And we realized it was probably just the juice and the glucose tablets. So even if we just left the glucose tablets in her mouth, and it would slowly dissolve and go, and it would go eventually into her system. We knew that much. And the sugar we kept on pouring into her, we kept on slapping her. She would wake up, she would swallow. And this happened 3 or 4 cycles. And then we had her Dexcom also on the side, always on, and we could see that suddenly the arrow went up.
But you guys did check with the prick as
We
well?
checked with the prick as well.
You also put like chocolate with that.
So Nancy decides, okay, let's give us some chocolate because chocolate is sugar. And I was like, that's freaking genius. And then
Okay, also stop it right there. Fun fact. Okay, no, do not give chocolate because chocolate has high fat. It takes longer for the sugar to come up.
Yeah.
Right? You want something with pure carb and not fat, not protein.
So so she went twice to get chocolate, by the way. Okay, the first
There's
time
so many chocolates and good ones.
she goes and she gets one like truffle, like a white chocolate truffle, okay? And she's like, Jazz, eat! And she's trying to smash this big ball.
Yeah.
And Nancy, she can't swallow. She can't open her mouth.
And Raj
Yeah,
said,
that's right.
It's white chocolate. I said, Paul, we
So
can't
she-
have white chocolate.
So she went back and she got another Cadbury thing. Okay, and then we finally pried her mouth. Nancy just basketballed that, 3-pointed that into her mouth. And I was like, no, Nancy, she can't swallow that. And we were like, oh yeah, she can't swallow it. We went
No,
back
and
into her
her tongue
mouth.
was rolling. Okay, so she pushed it like
Yeah,
behind.
the chocolate was not
But then we
being
realized that she couldn't swallow
So we
it.
had to
So,
like, dive into
so
the
Raj
chocolate
had
back.
to put his fingers and pull it out, and then we again put.
But the moment we saw the Dexcom arrow go up, that was us being like, okay, fine, it's going up. And then we pricked her also just to make sure. And then here was the interesting thing, when we pricked you, it was like already 100 and something, but she was still unconscious.
Yeah.
It takes
Time.
some time before you can
Quite
actually
some
regain
time,
consciousness. So we saw the prick and we were like, okay, it's 120, I think it was, or 130, and she still wasn't waking up.
Yeah.
So we kept giving up more and more.
We
Thinking-
just wanted her.
we just kept on pouring as much juice
She
in
has
her.
like 6 gallons.
And then and when her sugar hit like 170 is when she slowly started to
Yeah.
regain consciousness. She was looking around, very confused. She had a
My tongue was numb.
tongue numb, and there was it was
She had no
chaos.
idea what she was saying.
She had no idea what she was saying. The smiling periodically was very creepy.
Because I genuinely
It
thought
was-
that she was okay, she was testing me, because when she passed out initially in the car, she was like, give me a minute, and she was smiling, and she's like, I'm like, what, are you
Yeah, no, the
okay?
same thing happened.
It
And,
was too scary. It was,
yeah, it
So
was.
yeah, so I mean, this is the exact story that happened. But I remember like he said, I was waking up in flashes, which I don't even remember clearly, but I do remember that the first time I woke up, I was on the car seat, which I had passed out on the car seat, and Nancy wasn't there, but she was probably outside getting help. The next time I woke up, I was on the couch or maybe in the hallway. The third time I woke up, I remember Nancy's finger in my mouth. The fourth time I woke up, I remember Raj slapping me. So I remember waking up in past. The end when I actually finally woke up, I remember my top was drenched in juice. Probably because all the juice they were pouring in me was actually coming out.
Not coming out.
But just to think about it, like, I think from the start to the time I woke up must have been about 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes.
yeah. You were out for 20, it took us 30 minutes to get you back.
Yeah, it took us 20 minutes for the sugar to get back
Yeah,
to like what.
So
Because
even to
we carried
130.
this downstairs.
So I'm just thinking, so basically the Dexcom does not read below 35. Okay, it does not have an actual number, nor does the glucometer. Below 30, the glucometer also cannot read a value. So I'm thinking sugars had to be in the 20s to 30s range, which is extremely, extremely dangerously low. Right? The brain does not get glucose, the brain shuts down. And what these guys did, of course, I mean, I was so thankful and grateful that they both were there, and which is why it's so important for the people closest to you to know what to do. Of course, in moments of panic, chocolate and stuff like that, of course, their brains were also probably racing at like at unimaginable speeds. But the fact that your loved ones need to know what to do to address a hypo that goes dangerously low is very, very important. Second thing for me to learn was that even if my sugar is 60 in a car, which is 60 is not that, but I could have driven and been okay, but to stop the car. Stop the car, treat it, make sure it goes up, and then start driving again. Because what I was kept telling these both, and later on in retrospect, that if I was driving and I had passed out, that would have been catastrophic. So the fact that some kind of subconscious was there, but I just put the car on park, the car was still on, but I passed out. The third thing, glucagon, very, very important, you guys. Glucagon is a hormone that you administer when a person is passed out. It brings your sugar up immediately, and it is for the passing out, right? So this is what a glucagon hypo. Thank you so much. This is what a glucagon hypo kit looks like. Right? There are other ones that comes only glucagon, which is what we used to have, which in retrospect not the best idea. We did have syringes, but they were parked somewhere else, right? So it comes purely in the vial. Glucagon is not a stable element, so it does not come in a liquid form. It comes in a powder form. So these hypo kits, what happens is it comes like that, right? That the powder form is in the vial, and then you have the sterilized water pre-filled in the syringe. You push it in. We're gonna do a proper video on glucagon later on, so stay tuned for that. But to have presence of mind, what my doctor also said, next time somebody passes out is just put glucose powder in their mouth and let it dissolve, which is what these guys did with the hypo tab. But again, looking at things like a person can choke when they're not conscious. A person can choke, the thing could go into your windpipe, a lot of things could have happened. But the fact that this incident did happen was a big wake-up call. The fact that they were there next to me was the most, I mean, we just thank God's grace that they weren't there and they were able to treat it, because it was the scariest thing of my life, and genuinely speaking, I am now phobic of driving alone. Because I'm just scared something else would happen again. So every time I've driven after that, it's been with somebody.
Oh, one more learning. After we got her sugars up and she got consciousness, she took a 4-unit correction, which is
so
what
don't listen to
the patient.
Don't listen to them.
Do not give that correction.
Because what happened was, because they'd given so much sugar, right? The sugars were skyrocketing. So the normal thing what we do is we take a correction. But then my doctor, when we called him up and we were like, okay, we've given 4 units, he was like, no.
He's like, don't do that.
Because it's going to drop again. And it did. After half an hour, it was 86 again. And my doctor said, I don't care if your sugar's above 200, keep it above 200 for the night. We don't want to go back into a hypoglycemic episode. But so I've had bad hypos in my life. This is without a doubt the worst. Because what happened was, from 60 to 20, it dropped within 4 minutes. My body didn't have time to recognize it was dropping. We saw the graph later on the Dexcom as well. Normally it's a decline. This was a vertical drop. Yeah. So the body didn't have time to recognize the symptoms. I just remember the moment I felt before I passed out, and I was telling my mom, I'm glad I passed out, because I would not want to feel what I was feeling before I passed out. It literally felt like your body is not working. But yeah, get help, call your first responders, have the people. This is just such learning. We keep talking about it, that the people closest to you should know what to do, and then when it comes into action, it's a whole new experience altogether. See, again, I know how to administer glucagon.
Theory, when we have to do
the thing is, I know, but what am I going to do? I'm unconscious.
Yeah, what's the point here?
That's why education is the most important thing in diabetes management, and not just education yourself, educating the people around you. I think these guys did a fantastic job taking care of me, so like a huge applause to them.
Next time anybody has hypo, contact welcome to the rescue.
But yeah, no, presence of mind of the people next to you. This story is not about me, it's actually about them, because they were the ones saving me. So thank you, you guys were like the best. I'm okay now, I'm totally fine now. I hope they're okay now as well. But stay safe. Precaution is more like, even at 80, what I did was, now my doctor told me, change the Dexcom alert to 90. Normally it's below 70 is the hypo, I made it 90. That just at 20 units, 20 milligram per deciliter, I have given grace for myself to say that even if it's at 90, start correcting. You don't want it to go low, you don't want it to go to 70, because it's just a downward spiral after that. So at 90, my alarm means I changed the alert tone as well. To something more.
Now actually sounds like she's going to the hypo. Before it was like, ding! You got me. Like, that was the kind of reaction that you got. I mean,
so I have a siren below 30, it's siren, it's like an urgent low. But like now at 90 also, it beeps and wakes up the house. Just to be like, I've realized being safe is so much more better than being sorry. But okay, just as always, stay happy, stay healthy, live happily and bolus regularly, and as always, be tight. What up, guys?
Oh, this was involuntary. We didn't practice.
I didn't practice that.
We just knew it.
Follow
the channel.
Subscribe, like, all that.
Yeah, all that.
And follow Campus Box.
Yes, please. After once the diabetes thing happens, then I'll give you all. This is you're putting both at the same time. Wow.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share all the videos, and stay happy and stay safe.
Contact me.
For hypo, she'll be shaking and giving you just.